Good morning, everyone. It's Tess, and today's tip 319. I want to make sure I stay in this and don't let it get away from me. Yesterday I mentioned I'm reading a book from Nichols called Abundance Now, and just pulling things out. And ironically, she was talking about living abundantly and kind of what that means to her. And what I'm going to say is a lot of what I'm reading and seeing is somebody else's way to interpret and explain things that I've learned from many of the other mentors and many of the other books that I've been reading along the way. So it just kind of really cements that these are the things that the successful people do. And if we want to be successful, if we can incorporate some of that in, we can start to see changes faster. And she kind of was talking about, and a lot goes into that self-worth and self-talk and moving forward in a way that we tell our mind what we want in a more forward-thinking way, that we're putting together a picture of what we want instead of always looking for the things that are the reason why we can't get where we want to go. And she was kind of talking about the critical ingredient to living an abundant life is that we have to take on new opportunities with confidence, and that to live an abundant life, we're going to have to take responsibility for our thoughts, for our actions, and most important, for our reactions. And I thought that this was so important because it falls in line with a lot of what I've read, a lot of what you'll see with Tony Robbins, with Jim Rohn, a lot with what Doc V's told us, a lot with what all the mentors out there have said. And it kind of really starts with how we think. And that even goes back to law of attraction. The thoughts that we constantly bring into our mind is what our brain actually works to try to solve for us. So do we want it to always be looking for the things that are tripping us up so that we do trip up and we have to fix it? Or do we want to be, as Doc V always said, taking the shot, adjusting as we go, taking the shot, adjusting as we go? So, and in thinking in ways where we know we can make things happen, instead of looking to fail, let's look to succeed. So she kind of says, you have to take the position that you have the power to create the life of your dreams, regardless of your current circumstances. And her life was a perfect example of this. I mean, she was living in the hard streets of Los Angeles, and she actually ended up just starting with putting together like a community center to help kids. And then through that work, she became noticed, and other people helped her to expand it to where she is hugely successful. And if you ever read her book or listen to her speak, she'll talk about how there was a point in time when she couldn't afford diapers for her son, and her life turned around, but taking some of the pointers that she has can maybe help us all. And I think one of the first things is how we think. Are we thinking in a way where we're looking forward, or are we getting ourselves paralyzed in an analysis circle going downward? She says, shift your language. And we've heard that from everybody all the way around in all mentoring groups and all books that we've read. Shift the way you think. You and you alone are the creator of your abundant life. Talking differently about your plans, projects, and relationships and dreams is the first step. Being optimistic, being hopeful, knowing that you can move forward. Because if we focus too much on everything we think can go wrong, inevitably that is what happens. But if we keep that forward momentum, keep our mind moving forward, life just moves better. She says, when you believe strongly, when you believe in something strongly, or you repeatedly behave in a certain way, and then you suddenly add a new picture or belief or behavior to your mix, your brain will do everything in its power to resolve the discrepancy. So that's why thinking about the things in a positive look and in a positive direction, that's what you want your brain to be working to keep in your life, instead of only adding that in once in a while so that your brain's always looking for you to be in that place of turmoil. And I thought that was so important because it is one of those things that I've worked a lot on in the past 2 years, the self-worth, the self-confidence, the being forward motion, because I spent a lot of time problem solving and what they call analysis paralysis and not moving forward. And sometimes I still struggle with that. But what I'm realizing is, just like Nichols says, just like Tony Robbins says, just like Jim Rohn says, Doc V, Chris Nagel, all of them, if we keep moving forward, if we keep looking to take the shot, adjust and take the shot, our brain will start to fall in line with what we want. Instead of fighting us, it will be on our side, and it will help us move down the line. I don't want to be on for too long because I do have some stuff to do, but I wanted to make sure that I am getting in here every day. I got kind of off track a little bit when I was getting through that exam and stuff, but I think it's important for me to remind myself that I need to feel good about the things that I'm reaching for. Know that if I keep telling my mind that this is where I'm headed, it will fall in line and try to help me get the solution instead of creating the problem. So I'm going to keep talking to this mind and tell it, let's create the solutions and not focus on problems. And for you, I hope the same thing for you. Let's leave the problems behind and let them fall off somewhere else and just keep looking forward to something great, better, with more confidence and more belief in making things happen, because I know you can do it. I believe in you, and we're going to make the future better. Thank you for being here, and have a beautiful day.